lovers, welcome back to the Sports Connect show. This is your #1 sports show in the area, and whereby we don't only talk about sports related issues. We are entirely sports oriented. Yes, today we are in our show. This is Godson Ochira. In our show today we are going to talk about the weekend recap, what happened in the weekend. And in a special way, this is a very special weekend for us because we have guests. We are hosting special guests here who are going to help us digest what went around the weekend because it was pouring, raining, and drowning goals. So I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Please, I will start with you.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here. My name is Moises Ronald, working for Free Kick 442. It's on YouTube and on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm a writer there, and I own my own Twitter account called @RonaldMoises1. You can go there, you subscribe, you follow for more. I'm glad to be here, and we are going to digest a lot of things. Just continue watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, I'm Angela Nakakande, the Forever Maria, CEO Soccer with Marias.
Yo, my name is Lawrence Coco, part of the team of Sports Connect. Thank you.
What a weekend it was. If you watched the Premier League this weekend, you should be knowing exactly what I'm going to begin with. On Saturday at 7:30, we were not in shock. For example, some of the fans almost committed suicide, but it was not news to some of the fans too. Brentford held United 4-0, and today I'm here. I want us to talk about United's problem because it seems to be something that is getting out of hands. With the help of my pundits and my colleague Lawrence, we are going to talk about Manchester United. What is not happening? You can keep sending us your views on the comment section. What do you think is wrong with Man United so that we can share with you? Mr. Moises Ronald, were you surprised by what you saw?
Of course, as a sports pundit, I wasn't surprised. A person who has been really following Manchester United since 10 years back, I wasn't surprised because this has been happening. It happened last season. Man U were thrashed by different teams. They lost to Brighton 4-0, Liverpool 5-0, and more teams, Arsenal, Man City, losing at a big goal margin. So this season, we expected that there was a lot of things that were to be done in the summer. But unfortunately, nothing has been done. Teams have spent, Man City bringing in Haaland, Liverpool bringing in different players like Darwin Núñez, Arsenal signing, and Spurs bringing in 6 players. Man United finished in the 6th position last time, and you expect that they would bring more than 6 or 7 players. But we were shocked that until now they have only brought 3 players. So the loss at Brentford, of course, the fans were shocked because you can't imagine losing 4-0 to Brentford and you say you can't win Liverpool next weekend. So they were shocked, and they are going to be shocked again next weekend. It's what we expect, unless there is something that is done.
There's a saying that goes, once bitten, twice shy. But it seems that saying is not relevant for Manchester United. Dear panelists and viewer. They were beaten last season. We thought they were shy. And being shy would have prompted them to make serious signings. They lost senior players which they never replaced over the summer. They were beaten at the beginning of the season by Brighton 2-1. We thought they were shy for the next game, but they were not shy. Marius,
Yes, please.
what is your submission about this United team? What is this United disease that is not healing?
Well, United, as per now, I would say they are the sick man of Europe. Because if you come to look at their past away games, their away record hasn't been good because by the time they came for that weekend game, they had a loss whereby they had lost all their last away games, the last 9 away games, with a margin of 17 to 2 goals. So that's something really bad to them. And I think Brentford is not that weak team that you can despise, especially when you're Manchester United in that situation. So I wasn't surprised with that loss, because you see, when Brentford had just came last season, they came and smashed Arsenal, they came and made a draw with Liverpool, so they're not that weak team that you despise in case they find you in a frustrated situation, just like Manchester United is in right now. That's what all I have to say.
As I told you, it's a blessing to have ladies who know sports, because what a digestion of sports you've just pulled out, Marius. Yes, Lawrence, a lot has been said. Even on before this weekend, we said something about this game. We gave our personal verdicts about this United game. Some people thought maybe United would wake up from the other loss of the first game of the season. What was your take?
Yeah.
What was the cause according to you?
And in your statement, you said Manchester United was beaten. I don't think Manchester United is more beaten these days. It's trust. It's trust nowadays. 4-0 in a way. In 32 minutes, they had already considered
4 goals.
4 goals
by 34 minutes.
You can't take it for a big team like Manchester United. Like I said before, Manchester United just is continuing from where they stopped last season. They have not changed anything, even though they signed these players. I can say Valencia, that was a panic buy because they already had Luke Shaw, Telles in the same number, and Brandon Williams, who came back from Norwich. Yes. Bringing Eriksson, who more like plays like Fernandes, signing in Martinez with the flexibility and physicality of the English Premier League. I don't think he can adapt that fast. So I think the team is still struggling. The players, it's still individual playing. There's no team play in that club. So I think that club is still going to struggle if they don't get their books right faster as possible. Yeah.
The Glazers, I remember watching that game when they scored the second goal. I saw a banner going up among the fans. Glazers out! Glazers out.
There was another one, Manchester United for sale. So it's frustrating to the fans, yeah. They can't take it anymore.
What do you think? Because a lot has been said. Money has been given to the managers have been changed. 3 managers in one season. Actually in 1 year. Is United's problem in management? Is it in the board? Is it among the players? Is it in failing to bring in good signings? What do you think? As someone who knows about sports, someone who writes about sports at the Free Kick 224, what do you think is really United's problem? Because I know where there's a problem, there's a solution. But if you cannot identify the real problem, you can never solve that problem. What do you think is United's problem?
Right now, I think one of the biggest challenges at Manchester United are the Glazer family. Some people say that the scouting department, but of course, before buying those players, the Glazer family have to put a stamp on that, whether to sanction that deal or not. Looking at the scouting department at Manchester United, in the recent seasons, it has been more so dominated by the ideas of Eddie Woodward, who has been having a say in most of the players that have been bought. Look what they bought: Paul Pogba, 89 millions. He did not deliver, and he left for Juventus this season. You look at different players like Harry Maguire, 8 millions. He hasn't delivered. Different players like Jadon Sancho. You look at the players that are bought, and you wonder how they are going to fit in the systems of the coaches that are around. I do not believe that the coaches are the problem. They are not. Because we have had different coaches. We had Mourinho, we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we had Ralph Rangnick last season. Ralph Rangnick last season said that Man U needs 7, 8 or 9 players. New players. It means that it's not only the problem of the players, but the scouting department, they have to get things right. You could not just buy players. Now you see Man U these days buys players that because they are on the market, but they do not buy players that are needed at the moment. You look at Man United this season, they have a challenge of the midfield. They have the Mark Fred midfield partnership that has failed to deliver in the last 3 years. You ask yourself, why aren't they replacing these players? They failed last season, they failed in the past seasons, but they have not succeeded in replacing them.
They are continuing from where they left.
Yes. And of course, they are continuing with this season, and they are going to be dominated in the midfield. Any football fan or lover or pundit, you know, if you lose the midfield, you lose the game automatically. And the way they are exposed, they are going to continue exposing them. They will lose again at Liverpool and different teams who have good midfielders. I think one of the things that should be corrected is from the board. They have to back Erik ten Hag. He needs to be given time. He needs to be supported. That guy came from Ajax with a plan. He said he gave his plan to the board and the players he wanted. But right now, they haven't got any. They have not get the first-class players that he wanted. They are getting plan B, C, and D players. And right now, they are signing Christian Eriksen. Is a backup for Fernandes. Fernandes is always going to play.
And actually, Eriksen, who was brought as a backup for Fernandes, is playing better than Fernandes himself.
Yes. So, and these guys cannot play in the same team. They are weak. They need to be supported by good central midfielders. And I think if Man U gets good central midfielders, they get a right back, they get two strong forwards. Leave out Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is out of form.
Outdated.
And they need to get a strong forward to support Cristiano Ronaldo. Marshall is not going to do that. They need to support him. It's my take.
Thank you very much for that well-digested and well-put submission. After a short commercial break, we are going to get back and see whether United's problem can be solved by the Glazers selling them out. Will that solve United's problem if they get a new owner? We shall see all that after a short commercial break. Stick with us. Is Manchester United's problem the Glazers? If no, then what is Manchester United's problem? Keep them comments coming, as I'm going to get back to my panelists here to tell us what they really think United's problems are and what are the way forward. Please, Marius, what do you think is the solution to this new disease at Manchester United? It is actually not a new disease, it is a continuation of the disease they once suffered from.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just a continuation of their disease, but I think the cure is that the Glaciers should take Ralph's advice of buying 7 to 8 players such that Erik ten Hag can still get a starting 11. He can organize himself and maybe change the captainess of that team. I think they will get back to that top.
Brilliant.
Yeah, to my take, you know, our team needs time. Every team needs time and every coach needs time. So let them, these players that are right now in the team, they still can do something for that club. There's nothing like buying the whole squad will change everything. So let the players come together and let them focus on building that team now. Nothing like expecting any achievement. So I think there's no problem with the Glazers, but the team itself.
Thank you very much. We not only had the United's game over the weekend, although that was a very, very touchy game, but we also had games like Chelsea versus Tottenham. It was a very dramatic game. If you sat there and watched, I don't know wherever you watched that game from, but that game was interesting and at the same time exciting. Mr. Moses, tell me about what you saw in the Chelsea game, man. What came through? What was unique about that game? I saw they were rivaling as if they were on the last day.
Yes, first of all, we expect that from London derbies. It is always happening in London derbies, even if it is Arsenal playing Chelsea, Arsenal playing Tottenham, or Tottenham playing Chelsea, as it was yesterday. The game ended 2-2, but the most catching moments were the saga between Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte. And these things always happen. And it always happens when the games have not ended the way how coaches expected. But if you were a football fan, you could see Tottenham is better this season, and Chelsea has always been good in the past 3 seasons.
Yes.
So you expected that. At 2-2, it was a fair score, and I think all the teams were better, and they will still perform better in the next season, in this season, to go on.
Wow, what a fight. Tottenham fought until the last minute, 95th minute. With seconds to go, that is when Harry Kane equalized
Harry back.
from a corner. Now, I want to ask you, what were your moments? What were those moments, those catchy moments you took note of? The recognizable moments of the weekend that you took, that you picked out and you want to comment about?
Well, my moment of the weekend was West Ham losing to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham is some club that had spent 23 years without playing in the Premier League. So like the game, the league returning back to their city was something noticeable. These guys were very happy, and this Nigerian's goal made the city go on fire, you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, that made my day. Even Nico Williams' performance, yeah, Nottingham made my day.
That was a remarkable moment, because Nottingham has spent time in the championship. They came with no experience, but what they pulled out was mind-blowing.
And West Ham is some good team, you understand? Even Declan Rice failed a penalty, which was saved by Dean Henderson. It was a very good performance by those guys. By the way, it was Forest Day. Yeah.
Yes, but not forgetting that Nottingham Forest have bought 13 players this summer. They
And
have brought
experience.
13 players this summer, and they are still adding more players. They are close to signing Hussein Owa from Lyon,
Wow.
and they still need other players. They are
Hussein?
considering buying James Garner from Manchester United. He was on loan last season, so Nottingham Forest can still do wonders.
Yeah.
Lawrence, what was your remarkable moment?
I think my moment of the week was that game between Chelsea and Tottenham. Mostly the Tottenham's goals, they looked controversial. The first goal by Hojbjerg, Havertz claimed a free kick. They had fouled him. That's when they considered that goal.
Yeah.
So, and even the second goal, the controversial that Cucurella was fouled in the box and the referee refused to award the Chelsea a free kick. So that's when the Spurs took the second corner kick. That's when Kane scored that goal. And you know, Kane can do you anything. So Harry is back. So, and the tension between the two coaches, Tuchel coming to say it was between the competitors, not nothing else out of football. So I think whoever has never played Spurs and Chelsea should watch out this season. The game was too tactical, it was too tense. I think it was the biggest game of the week.
It was indeed the biggest game. And as we said, other leagues also came back, apart from the Premier League. Laliga came back, Bundesliga continued, and also French Ligue 1 continued. So Barcelona was held 0-0 in their first game of the season.
Yes, Barcelona, it was one of the results that not everyone expected, because they expected Barcelona to win with more than 6 goals, because they have Lewandowski, they have Rafinha, they have bought different players. So we expected they would win, but it was a surprise that they made a draw. But I do think they played well, but they did not score, and I think they will make it in the next games.
I believe so. They have registered their players, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
They managed to register Lewandowski and all those players that we were worried that if they'd never registered them,
Casey and Christensen.
would cause them problems for the entire season. But they managed to register them. Yes, Real Madrid came from behind. What really happened in that Real Madrid game?
Yeah, the game was it the playing against
Almeria.
Almeria came, you know, Almeria is a newly promoted team, just like what happened in the Premier League. Those teams comes with a lot of pressure. So they needed a point and since they were also at home, they needed the points. And you know, the most strategy these small teams use, what they say, let's beat the big teams so that we can survive, because we can negotiate with other small teams. So they came expecting a lot, and Madrid coming from behind, starting in the 61st minute with Vasquez's goal, and you know, Benzema. Was it Benzema? Or
It was
Alaba?
David Alaba, and,
Alaba, yeah, taking up the day for he's continuing to score
Yeah.
like he did in Bayern. So I think it was most of the interesting game too. Yeah.
Wow. And of course, today there's a Premier League game, another Premier League game, and of course we have a Liverpool fan in the names of Marius in studio.
Arnold's
So,
fan.
yeah, she supports Trent Alexander-Arnold to the brim. Yes, Marius. I don't know what you expect about today's game. I know your expectations are up there. You think, you know. But anyway, I wanted to give us an honest verdict. What do you think will transpire from today's game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace?
Well, leaving aside my emotions, still I would say Liverpool is taking that day, because if you look at Liverpool's last home games, like especially those beginning the season for the past 18 Premier League seasons, on their start dates at home, they have been doing really good. They have never been beaten any single game, just losing 4. And you understand, they have won 9 in a row, so I think it's gonna be their day. Yeah.
Personal verdict about this today's game?
I expect Liverpool to win. They have Darwin Núñez. He's back on form. He did not perform well in pre-season, but he's doing it right now. They will win this game.
Give us a score.
I think it will end something like 3-1 in favor of Liverpool.
Thank you very much. What do you think about the Liverpool game, Kobe?
Liverpool is on form. They said it from where they stopped last season. And with the high pressing game of Klopp, I don't think Crystal Palace will manage it. I think Liverpool will win 2-0.
2-0 in favor of Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not any different from this fellow panelists of mine. I think Liverpool is going to come out and correct the mistake they made on the weekend of the draw.
Maybe to give you other fixtures for today, Atletico Bilbao is taking on Mallorca. Getafe is taking on Atletico Madrid, one of the toughest teams for the big giants in Spain. And Real Betis is taking on Elche in Spain. Then SerieA Verona is taking on Napoli. And Juventus is starting their title challenge this season against Sassuolo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an honor to have you guests in the studio today with me, digesting purely sports. By the way, to remind you, at Sports Connect, we digest typically, we split only the venomous sports news, everything that you want to know from your world of sports. Yeah, and to remind you, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please press that subscribe button. Please like, comment, and hit that notification bell so that every time we put a new upload, you are the first person who gets to know. Stick with us until next time. Bye bye.